I thought it would be nice. I thought it'd be nice to do a little house update because a lot's changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on here and then go out to the porch, so you can see. Here we have my little entryway, which I got these little things for like vegetables, but it just makes the vegetables go bad. So now I use them to hold incense, and I got frankincense and myrrh. So I'm using dual incense holders so I can do the incense and myrrh at the same time. And I got this one on Etsy, and it's on a selenite charging slab. And Julia gave me this Egyptian one, the kitty cat. And this is a beautiful drawing or painting that Michael, wait, what's his name? Shoot. Mike Darpino. Michael Darpino did that. And then he got little Froggy up there. And you got these little classy little elephants I got an estate sale for like $1. And, I put this coat rack up. And then I put my keys in there. Okay, so we go outside. And if that's a box, someone's picking that up. Here's my free snacks for delivery people. And I put my Zen guard in there. And I found this, like, woven rug last night for free. Someone was throwing out. And I thought it would go perfect here. See, under a delivery area. I also got the cushion from someone throwing it out a couple weeks ago. Oh, look at the cute little guy. Hello. Okay, I just cleaned this all off this morning. So let's go back in so we don't bother. I got this from the estate sale for $1 as well. And I made this for the birds. Okay, let's go back in. Okay, and then when you come in here, that's a painting I got from estate sale for like $2. It reminded me of Julia's artwork, which is why I put it there. And then you got my bookcase. A little shoe area for guests. The blue light is for Jupiter to get around the house because he's losing his eyesight. And I don't think anything else has changed. Oh, I put a cute little basketball hoop up there. And I moved all the cat food stuff over here so it's not in the thoroughfare. Keeps everything nice and clean for them. Let's see. I guess that's about it. I put favorite records on display there. And the granny square blanket was a gift. Little snowman. Blanket was from Julia. I got a little alien. And these guys are from IKEA. The alien and the astronaut kitty cat. And this little guy was from an estate sale. All of this estate sale stuff was like $1 or $2. Uh-oh, this is falling off. Don't want that to fall off. There's my iPad. I just keep it on the clock for the most part, and the weather. And my little video game for when guests come over, they can play Galaga and Miss Pac-Man. And what's the other game? I think there's a third game. I don't remember what the other game is. It's Galaga, Miss Pac-Man, and Dig Dug. Oh my God, Dig! I always loved Dig Dug. I thought he was adorable. Okay, so there it is. This is just a short little update. But here, let's light some frankincense and myrrh. What I did to know which one's which, I used a Sharpie. So the frankincense has the black tip. Although, to be honest, These are dirty enough to appear to have a black tip as well. But that's all right. I know that those are the frankincense because it's got a longer black tip that I actually used with a pen. Okay. So let's light some incense. The frankincense and myrrh smells so good. Oh. Okay. Okay. Just leave that open. And I think it's just nice having an entryway that's actually a smart bulb up there. I don't know why I have it on that particular color. Might change it. But I like this old tile. This place has a lot of charm. It was one thing I really loved about it, and it's why, and in my appreciating of that, these little charming details is what led my landlady to actually rent to me. So for example, if you look at the light up there, look at the old metal collar. It's got an old metal floral collar around the bulb. That's just so cool to me. They just don't do that stuff anymore, you know? The magenta or mauve cat is the first thing I put out. There are my little owls up there. Anyway, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And, oh, I did put I got this from an estate sale too for like $2, this metal piano player, and I think it's so cool. I think she just is so evocative, and the legs actually move. I really like it. And this is the house hippo that Erin made me. And this is supposed to represent me and Julia. My little bonsai. I feel bad for the flies because they keep landing in my wax melter, which is awful. You know, I'm like, oh man. They never did before. But I think what happened is I got a bunch of baby flies that grew up in the trash can here. And when they were little babies, and they're so cute, and I would just let them grow up, and then when they got to the window, I would just open the screen and let them fly out. Well, unfortunately, some of them are being drawn to the wax melter, and they're not making it to the window. So, I don't know what to do about that. I guess for now we can just turn it off, so that if there's any more flies, they'll get to the window in time, and I can set them free. I don't think there's probably that many left. I've let out so many. I mean, how many do I think were born there? Like 20, maybe? So, and I've let out like 15. I don't think there are many left. And there's been like 3 or 4 that have died in the wax melter. And so like that window, I just keep the window open. And then when they go over to the window, I just open the screen and they fly out. So I'm trying to help them to freedom. You know, I might want to put this lamp on something. See, this used to be the cat food area, but it's just too much of a thoroughfare. You know, so that's not good. So now, and this bed, no one uses this bed here. So I got to figure out. Now, Luna loves this bed, but she used this bed when it was just in the middle of the floor, like over here, when there was more room, because I didn't have the bookcase and the TV then. So now that there's less room, that makes it harder for her to use this bed where it used to be, unfortunately. Unless I maybe put it there. I wonder if she'd like it there. You gotta just try it different places and see if they like it, you know? Otherwise, this area, I don't know, what would you do with this area here? Right now you just have my cute little vintage turtle here that I got in a estate sale for like $2. I think Julia picked one of them up for like $10 or $15, and they usually go for like $20 to $40. So I think I got a really good deal. I love those online estate sales, though. You can find some really cool stuff. What would you use this area for? I mean, I could put the shoe thing there. You know, I could put the shoe thing. But the reason I have it here is so like you can sit on the chair if you want and put your shoes on. Like that's for like my mom or someone that wants to sit and put their shoes on. I don't know. What would you do? I could just have that nothing there. Or maybe have like you could put like a little end table there, you know, like where you want to have, you know, someplace to put your keys, things like that. But at the moment, I put my keys in that. And this is perfect. I like this. I think this is perfect for keys. So that's that. Oh, these chains. Haha, what are those for? They were very kinky. They were gonna be for hanging up the wooden bird feeder, and I was gonna drill holes in it. But look, I ended up using macrame that I had on hand to just hang it there and then wrap it around. And I forego using the chains. So now I just have the chains. So maybe what I might do is if I get a planter, I could drill holes in it and then hang it using the 3 chains, you know, and I could hang 2 planters that way. That actually could be kind of cool, you know. I think that would be good. Otherwise, not a whole lot, unless I donate it or so. There's a lot of stuff like I have a plan for, and then it doesn't come through, so then I just donate it, you know, because why? Why not? But yeah, this area. I don't know. What do you think? Would you put this table right now is getting a little cluttered, right? So if I clean that all off, and this was originally turned sideways, but then I moved like this wicker thing for umbrellas, and that's where I keep the dust buster thing for the porch. So maybe I'll put this over there, and then when people come in, they know immediately where to put shoes. That could work. And then on the top, you can put like a bowl for like, you know, snacks, or like that's where you can put the bowl for like Halloween, you know. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I think that could be cool. But anyway, I better get back to work. People always tell me that the house is a little cluttered. I have a lot of tchotchke stuff. But that's okay. Like, for example, the things up there. The crystal vase right there with the blue flowers. That was actually used in the movie Somewhere in Time, which is a personal favorite. And I found it as a prop with a certificate of authenticity on eBay about 20 years ago. And the blue flowers are blue roses, but color blue for the Mackinac Island, where Somewhere in Time takes place. And then the kitty frame has Neptune. The candle is from my sister Valerie. You know, the little card snowman was a gift. The metal is a dream catcher over the couch because I often sleep there. And that was from a run challenge. So it's like everything has a meaning and is sentimental. This little kitty cat hanging here. This little vintage thing, music makes people more beautiful. I got that at an estate sale for like $1. These Indian door handles, I've got 2 of those. And these are freaking cool. I really, really like them. But I got those many years ago. I think on eBay. No, on Etsy. This little wand for bubbles was from Linda. These beads are from my brother Douglas from when he went on a trip. You know, so This is from Zakay Glass when they made pendants one year, like 20 years ago. I like to show that to them. They always forget about them, and I go, hey, remember these? You know. My little kitty cat bank, I think he's adorable. Probably the only thing I ever bought that was advertised on social media that I love. Most things are junk, but I love this. He looks like Joopy. You know. The decanter was a gift from Lisa, who sadly passed a couple years ago. And I believe it belonged to her mother. So I really take good care of that. The sculpture I found on eBay. It's like an alien. It's by Milo. The mermaid is El Gato Gomez. The corkscrew was a gift from Julia. The Brahill candelabra is on remote. I use remote candles for that. And so you can turn them all off and on at once. But I had that custom made based on an old vintage mid-century modern design that you could never find anywhere. So I actually paid someone to make... I paid a woman, blacksmith, to make that for me. And it was always the first thing I wanted to put up when I got my own place. Sinead O'Connor, rest in peace. Always loved her, especially that album in high school. That was a really meaningful album. Let's see. Guitar player, that's Ellie from Last of Us. The candle holder was from an estate sale for like $1. There was a show. Oh, this is Mike Seba drew that. It was on his drum that I still have, but I saved that. This CD holder was actually in a show about like the end of the world, apocalypse, nuclear war. That was on Apple Plus, I think, with Sterling. What's his name? Sterling Brown. Is that his name? Really good actor. He's from This Is Us and a bunch of other stuff. And in that movie, the president had a CD player, and he had this CD holder. And I went, oh my God, that is amazing. I need to find it. And I found one on eBay, the exact same color, that dark wood, for like, I don't know, like $30 or something, maybe less. So I grabbed it. And the person who sold it to me ended up emailing me and saying, people keep buying these. What's going on? I have no idea why these are so popular all of a sudden. And I explained to him, oh, well, they saw it in this show, and now everybody wants one. And I just think that's how it works. That is how, that's how it works. You see something and something you connect with, and then you want that thing. Now, I know not everybody has that that lack within themselves. There's that hole, and we're trying to fill it with connection. And so we feel a connection with something, and then we go, ooh, I want that. That'll make me feel better. And I mean, as long as we recognize that, I think then you're not misplacing too much energy into that. Especially since I wanted a disc holder, right? I was actually on the lookout for a disc holder for my CD player. Here, it's a CD tape player, because there were a bunch of records I wanted, but they were like $100 to $500 a piece because they're so rare. So I ended up buying them on cassette because they were like a couple bucks on cassette. So I saved like $1,000 buying them on cassette instead. And sometimes that's just the way to go. And it's analog still, and I really like that. So it's kind of fun having cassettes again, This was this artist. He had an exhibit here in Cleveland, and they gave you a free pack, but then there were all these smiles all over the wall. It was unbelievable. Okay, so check this out. At the Cleveland Museum of Art, they had an exhibit for this guy, and there were smileys all over these walls. And I was talking to one of the security guys, and I said, how many smileys do you think are on the wall? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, I think we could figure it out. He's like, all right, go ahead. So I counted like how many were in a square, like foot by foot, like a square foot. And then I multiplied that by how many feet high and wide the wall was. And then I multiplied that by like all the other walls. And I came up with an approximation of 288 That was my guess. Using no calculator or anything. I just came up with that as my guess. And then we did the math on a calculator. I think my guess was 288,423. And the actual amount that we came up with was 288,000. Like it was exact. It was crazy. So he was so impressed, and so was I. I was blown away. So he gave me 2 of the cards by this guy, by this artist, and which I thought was cool. So he gave me these 2 extra cards, and I kept this one in its package. Then when I got home, I looked them up on eBay, and people were selling these cards for like $60 and up a piece, which is crazy. I'm keeping them because they connect me with a memory, and I like that. I think that's important. It's in my little mini Zen garden here, so I find that inspiring. I think it's good to have stuff around you that inspires you. Like this vintage little kitty cat. I got this at an estate sale for like $1 or $2. That is not one of my cats. That was the cat that was in there, but it kind of looks like Luna. This is a rock stacking picture that this is when me and Mike Seba lived together in San Diego back in like '98. And we used to do rock stacking together because we met a guy at a festival that was doing them, so we started doing them. I tell you, I miss Mike a lot. This is from a history of color in American art, or a history of art book focused on color. And I thought it was really fun. I've saved this page. I laminated it for since I lived in Mountain View, right? So since 94, I got it, maybe earlier. And I thought it was really funny because it's a book about color, and the illustrations are a Jackson Pollock and a Rothko, and they're in black and white. And they didn't have the money to actually do the illustrations in color, even though the book was a history and study of color. So I just always thought that was funny. Anyway, I hope you all... this was only going to be a 5-minute video, but there was a lot to talk about. So anyway, I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And time to get back to work. Okay, bye-bye.